If you want a high-quality taillight setup for your 2021 or newer Ford Bronco that blows the factory taillights out of the water with the look and the function, these Form lighting LED taillights with the black housing and smoke lens are a set you'll want to consider. Now, these are a 180 of the factory taillights, perfect for the Bronco owner who wants a more dynamic and darker appearance to the back of their truck, in addition to some more modern LED styling. Now, the look of these lights completely changed the vibe of the back of the Bronco, but the bright lighting and additional features will help you in the driver's seat if you're currently struggling to see what's behind you when you're backing up your Bronco at night, and will help keep you a bit safer on the street if you're searching for a very noticeable taillight setup with a quality design. Now, first and foremost, the design of these lights is the most eye-catching feature in and of itself, with a stealthy black housing and a smoke lens along with a dynamic lighting arrangement. And the main light here is the large C-shaped style LED running light bar that acts as the running light to offer some more modern styling, a bright design to keep your Bronco noticed on the road, and it even features a cool startup sequence. Now, the center tri-bar design acts as the brake light and the turn signal, lighting up red when you hit the pedal and allowing you to select between the red of the brake light as the turn signal or an amber color and what sequence that you want, whether it be a sweeping sequential function or a standard blink function, really allowing you some options when it comes to setting up these taillights. This also has a quad light setup down at the bottom of each of the taillights for the reverse light, making the set much brighter than the stock setup, again offering you some better visibility in the driver's seat when you're backing up at night. And these have a tough build with OEM grade materials and a tough black plastic housing on the back, molded for a direct swap into the Bronco, and a polycarbonate lens on the front. Now, the lens will offer impact resistance, and it's also UV coated to maintain a crisp and clear appearance over time, resisting any yellowing or fogging. Now, the LEDs, unlike halogens, are also very efficient for a long lifespan, so you won't have to worry about an out bulb or servicing your lights with this setup. The best part is that this is a super easy swap with a plug-and-play setup, and they're fully compatible with the Bronco's blind spot detection settings if your Bronco is equipped from the factory. Now, these are about $550, making these one of the more premium taillight setups in the category, but you can see that's for good reason. Now, this kit offers a lot more than the average swap with the selectable turn signal functions, activation lighting, a full LED build compared to a hybrid option, and the fact that it's compatible with OE features without giving you any hassle or codes when it comes to the install. Now, the other factors come down to your preference in the look. So if you want a tough appearance and a lot of function out of a sleek looking and well-built set of taillights, then this is a great set to consider. Install here is a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and really should only take about an hour or so in order to install. At this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers here. They're going to show you a detailed breakdown on how you can get these installed on your Bronco at home. So that wraps it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you will need an impact or a ratchet, 8 and 10 millimeter sockets, and a clip removal tool. Today we're going to be installing some taillights on our Bronco, so let's get started. So to start off, we have our rear hatch door open, and the first thing we need to do is remove this inner trim piece. It's held on by push clips. Out here you got 4 of them. You do have one tucked up top. Then we have 2 10 millimeter screws right here. So we're going to grab our clip removal tool, pop these clips out, and then we'll come and address our screws. Sometimes they will break off like that, that's okay. And this top one. All right, so now that we have our clips out, these are actually 8 millimeter screws, so we're gonna grab our 8 millimeter socket on our impact and get these out. Once we have those out, it's easiest to grab this from the bottom, kind of work this out. You do have to get it over this bumper. That's just our broken clips falling down. You can kind of twist that out, set that out of the way. Next, we're going to have to remove our lower trim panel. Now, to do that, we're going to need to pop the rear of our fender flare out. These have locking tabs on the back side of them. All you need to do is flip that down, and you can pull this out. I need to do 2, just to give us some extra room. We can grab this trim panel. You do want to be careful with this. You don't want to break it. Sometimes they come out easier than others. Once you get that side popped out, pop this whole panel out. Now that we have all of our trim off, we have access to our connector and our mounting screws for our taillight. The first thing we're going to do is unplug our taillight. So we're going to press in on this tab, push up on our connector, unplug that. Then we have two 8mm screws out here that we're going to remove. So we have our 8mm socket. We'll get those out. Now we're going to remove the 10mm screw out here with our 10mm socket. You want to support your taillight while you do this. Screw out, we can remove our taillight. Now one thing I did want to point out to you is you'll notice this 10mm screw sitting down here. That is supposed to be in the side trim portion of your taillight. Now normally you want to remove this bottom trim fully. This will pop off of here and that'll expose that screw. Our mounting point for that has been broken over many previous installs, kind of wore out. But doing this at home, you want to pop this bottom trim off, remove that 10mm screw, and then this upper trim piece will come out. Now once you have your first taillight out, you can repeat this same process for the other side. All right, so now we can begin installing our new setup. So what we're going to do is set our taillight in place, line that up. Make sure you're not pinching any wires at any mounting points. We're going to plug in our new light, and it has a factory style connector. Gonna get that right into place. Make sure that snaps in. And we can begin installing our factory hardware. So we've got our first 8mm screw in, and get our upper 8mm in. Tighten our other one down again with our 8mm socket. Then we'll reinstall our 10mm screw off to the side. Now we'll grab our 10mm socket and get this one in. All right, so once you have your taillight itself in, we can begin reinstalling all of our trim. We're gonna start with that vertical piece. As noted before, our bottom mounting tab is broken. Line this up, that's snapped into place, and you should reinstall that 10mm screw down bottom. And once you have that in, we can reinstall our lower trim. Line that up, that into place, and we'll get it back in over here. Pull your fender flare out. Back in, then we can just push our fender flare back in, lock those tabs back into place. Now we can reinstall our inner trim. Now this one's a little bit tricky to get back into place, so what we're going to do is fish it in at the top, make sure that sits back around that bumper. Sometimes it's a little tighter. Then you can reinstall all of your push clips. Again, two of ours did break. Put these in, top one in. Once we have those in, we'll reinstall our two 8mm screws, again with our 8mm socket. And once you have this side installed, you can repeat the same process for the other side. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our form lighting LED taillights with black housings and smoke lenses for your 21 to current Bronco. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.